Hi, I'm Alan Tsao, and I help students do well in AP Physics 1. Today, I'm actually going to talk to you about a common problem that I see with a lot of students, is that they're focusing too much on whether or not they get the answer right or wrong. Now, it's not their fault that this is happening. You've been trained to really focus on whether you get the answer right or wrong, make sure to check your work and stuff like that, standardized testing, all of that. It's all turned you into machines about whether things are right or wrong. It is important to make sure you can get the right answer, but when you're learning something new, that's not what you really want to focus on. In AP Physics, the focus is really more about how you go about finding the problem. I really care more about how they break down the problem than whether or not they get the answer right or wrong. There's lots of reasons why you might get the answer right or wrong. You might make a calculator mistake. You might mess up your algebra. There's so many steps. If you look at it like a free response question for AP Physics 1, there are lots of steps, and any mistake on any of those steps will cause you to get a wrong answer. So I don't like these systems that just like you fill in and it auto grades and it tells you whether you got it right or wrong. That's only part of the picture. The bigger picture is whether or not you understand the process. Okay, some of those systems, they get you wrong because you round it incorrectly, right? Like how frustrating is that? Is you feel like you're doing everything right, you feel like you can't see anything wrong, and you get it wrong because it rounds. It was like, I wanted 3 decimal points, not 2 decimal points. There's a lot of arbitrary reasons you might get it wrong, and that can be very discouraging. So we don't focus on exactly whether or not we get the answer exactly right or wrong. And even in the College Board, when they score the free response questions, it's not so much about the right or wrong answer. That's an important part of it, but the steps you take to get to that answer are actually pretty important. And they give you a pretty decent amount of leeway if you make a mistake on one part, but you carry that error forward to the next part. Okay, so even if you get part A wrong and the answer in part B depends on part A, you can still get full credit for the question. So when you're looking and you're evaluating, you're not really looking, okay, I got the answer wrong, but you're looking at what step, where in the process was a mistake being made, and how much of the process did I do correctly? And that's what I'm looking for. When I'm evaluating students' work, I'm looking at the steps that they're taking more than whether or not the number is right or wrong. That's actually the least important thing to me when I'm looking at students' work. Is I'm really more focused on what are the steps. Because you can get things right just by guessing, right? You just be like, well, I guessed 0. Hey, it was 0. That doesn't mean it's not gonna set you up for success. It's not gonna mean you understand physics. It just means you got the question right. So getting them right or wrong can be a matter of luck. But if we have a clear process, the way we break down a problem, then we have a better understanding, we have a better mechanism for actually solving the problem.